Hi YouTube. I had an unusual day yesterday when it came to delivering to a receiver in Detroit, Michigan, and it was unusual because this what happened never happened to me before. So in Detroit, Michigan, or in Michigan, it's pretty snowy. Let me show you. Yep, I'm currently in Taylor, Michigan, but yeah, I don't know if y'all saw that. Let me see that snowy mountain hill. Maybe it's not a mountain. Maybe it's a hill, a snowy hill. Okay. So, if you haven't guessed already, what I'm about to talk about deals with snow. So, let me start with the story. And what made it so unusual was that when I arrived at my final in Michigan, Highland Park, Michigan, the entire property was covered in about 3 to 4 inches of snow. And let me just say this before I really get into the story. I arrived at the shipper really early. I arrived around 3 o'clock in the morning. So there was really nobody there except for the security guard. And the blanket and the property, what was covered in snow, was only disturbed by the rounds the security officer did, periodically going around the property. So that was the only signs that the 3 or 4 inches of snow was disturbed. So I drove onto the property and I stopped as soon as my truck and trailer was on the property, so I could send in the form that lets dispatch and whoever else knows that I arrived at my final. Now after I stopped, I sent in my form, I tried to start, continue going more into the property. And that's when I hit my first snag. I was unable to move. I was stuck. I was stuck in the snow, and I'm like, crap. It doesn't, 3 or 4 inches of snow doesn't seem to me like it would be able to stop, a loaded truck, but it is. So I put on my differential locks. That didn't work neither. I was still stuck. So what I had to do was I had to use my equipment. I purchased kind of beforehand, knowing that the snow season was starting. I bought this handy shovel, and I had to use this a lot. I had to use this shovel a lot throughout my entire stay at that receiver. And I'm really glad that I got this. It's handy and it's easy to put away. But I also got this grip cut. So when I first got stuck in the near the entrance of the facility, I used this. It comes with 2 of these, and it works. It really does work. But I only used it once because if you wanna, after you use it, you want it back, you have to stop the truck again and to retrieve it. So I didn't want to really risk stopping the truck and end up being stuck again. So I used it once, and after that I just decided to use my shovel to get the snow away from the tires and whatnot. So after I got unstuck, it took me about 2 minutes to get unstuck. I continued going forward into the facility. And lo and behold, actually I didn't get stuck until I tried to make a turn, so I wouldn't blindside into a parking spot. So I got stuck again when I tried to make a turn when I tried to make a U-turn, so I wouldn't blindside into a parking spot. So after I tried to make a turn and to park, I got stuck again. I had to use a shovel. Actually, let me just say this: I got stuck more than like 8 times. Around 7 to 8 times, I actually got stuck where I had to get out and use my shovel. But I got stuck more than 8 times, but I was able to kind of jiggle my way out of it, going back and forth and jiggle myself out of it. But I had to get out at least 8 to 7 times and actually use my shovel to get out of some sticky situations. And when I actually did finally, find a way to park into a spot, it took me, what would normally take me like a minute or two to, back into a spot, it took me about 30 to 40 minutes to park my truck and trailer into a spot because I kept on getting stuck. And like I said before, the only signs that the snow has been disturbed was the security officer doing his patrol. And it was kind of annoying that, a 4-wheeler could easily bypass this snow, but me, I'm having so much trouble. I don't know why. And I'll show you earlier. I'll show you now the switches I was using when I say the differential switch. So there's the interaxle switch, differential switch, and there's the differential switch, the main one. And I used both of them. I tried just using the main differential switch. That didn't work. So I used both the interaxle switch and the differential lock switch, and neither of them really worked. And I got my confirmation that it was not really working when the employees started to show up. A yard dog saw me, saw that I was having trouble, and he tried to help me. He's like, "Are you sure that your differential locks are on?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Because the wheel is still moving. It's still, just going around." I'm like, "Well, it's on." And I'm like, "Screw it. Let me go out and hurry up and, dig myself out of it." But, so I was really annoyed, and also, it was just kind of amazing, kind of surprising to me that this happened. It's the first time that kind of situation happened where the snow, the whole property was covered in snow. But I was there super early, and by the time that I left around 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, there was already, they were already doing something about the snow. They had this truck that just threw salt everywhere on the property, and when I left, the entranceway was already plowed away. The snow was plowed away from the entranceway. So it was just me being early that I got into this situation. I don't have no regrets getting there early, though. Well, I kind of do now that I think about it, but I still like arriving to my final and shippers if I can early. It's less stress, in my opinion. Anyway, so when I finally did leave, that I got my bill of lading signed after the employees arrived, and I finally did leave around 8 o'clock. I got stuck again while I was waiting for this light to turn green. And it wasn't even like, heavy snow. It was just slushy snow. So this leads me to think that it's something's wrong. The differential locks are not working when I put them on, because I got stuck in slushy snow. And seeing, just regular cars, buses pass me by, well, I had to use my shovel to, get some traction, makes me believe that something's wrong with my truck, or, I'm open, maybe it's something I'm doing wrong, because maybe I'm not using something. I tried to even use the traction control switch on my truck. That didn't work. Tried to use the differential switch on my truck. That didn't work. So either I'm doing something wrong, or the differentials and interaxles machinery isn't working properly. I don't know. Or maybe there was the traction just wasn't there. But like, how can the traction be there for four-wheelers and buses? And you know, but yard dogs didn't really seem to have any problem going about. But you know, I'm having trouble where I continuously got stuck throughout that day. But there's some good news to this. Recently, I got the latest Xbox One game, Final Fantasy 15. And I got it pretty cheap, for like $44, since I have an Amazon Prime account and they gave me a discount. It's pretty awesome. I actually haven't played it yet. I plan on playing this after I finish playing Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 13-2. It's gonna be pretty cool. But you know, as a truck driver, there's not really a lot of time to play games. You know, once you stop for the day, you normally feel really tired. Well, I normally feel really tired, so I normally sleep about 8 hours, and then I maybe have 2 hours or so to play video games, or you know, read a book or something like that. I also, when I got that video game, I got this awesome laptop. It cost me $900, but I think it's worth it. It's an Asus. It's the 752 V edition. I think it's 700. It's the 752 V edition. Yep, 752 V model. And the reason I got this, I wasn't even really planning on getting a gaming notebook, but I was getting tired of that. With my Xbox One, you have a limited variety of games you could pick from, and I noticed that when I was trying to get the Final Fantasy 13 game on the Xbox One, but I'm not able to get it on the Xbox One, which is kind of surprising since you can play the Final Fantasy 13 game on the Xbox 360. But whatever, I'm getting off topic. So even though I had an unusual day yesterday, I'm just saying that, you know, having these cool stuff brightens my day up. But let me just go off topic again. I got this notebook mainly because when I was at the Joplin terminal, I met this guy and he had such an awesome laptop. I don't think it's the same version. I think he had a better version than this Asus, but he had an amazing laptop. I was really, really jealous. We talked for a little bit, and he was playing the Final Fantasy 14 game, I believe, online, and we talked about that a little bit, and it looks really, really cool. Actually, I might end up playing that. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of time on my hands to really play online games, and you know, to play online games, you really have to be fully invested to really become really powerful and not get killed by people. Because you know, you could play an online game, I guess PvE casually, but if you want to play PvP, you know, you can't really play that casual. You got to really commit to it, or else you just got to be getting killed left and right. Jeez. But that's the reason I got this awesome laptop, because I met this guy at the Joplin terminal, and I was really, really jealous. I think, yeah, his laptop is definitely better than this one. He probably paid like $1,500 or something for it. I might buy a laptop like that in a year or two. Probably in 2 years, who knows. But anyway, I totally went off topic. But I'll talk to y'all later. I wasn't really planning on making a video anytime soon, but I ran into that unusual situation, and I believe that I might have to get my truck checked out at a Kenworth or at the Joplin terminal if I'm able to get there anytime soon. I'll probably just end up going to a Kenworth to check it out, because you know, the winter season isn't going away anytime soon, and I don't want to get stuck like that, like on a highway. That's just dangerous. So thought I'd let y'all know about the interesting events what happened yesterday, and brag about my new laptop. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.